Hey everyone, how are you? David Schwartzberg here. We had started learning the Sefer Shomer Emunim, Derush Bitochan. Last we learned Perek Aleph. Just want to start with saying this morning in MDY, Rabbi Eli Stefanski's Daf Yomi Shir here in Beit Shemesh, we were learning Shvuas Daf Membeis. He pointed out interesting Rashi, actually the only Rashi in all of Shas, that writes Shichachti Milafarish HaMishnah. I forgot to explain this point in the Mishnah, and therefore I'm explaining it now, which was much later after the Mishnah. And interesting, why couldn't he just sort of go back and print it on the Mishnah? And the answer is because it wasn't like that. He had notes, and he filled up the paper, he was on the next paper, and that's where he wrote it. And very similar, you have the idea of a typewriter. A typewriter, you would type in, and whatever you typed in, there's no going back. You can't go back and edit it. And he said a story of a machaber that wrote many svarim with a typewriter. And then somebody convinced him to get a computer. And once he got a computer, he never printed another sefer because it was always, oh, let me go back and fix another point I said. So I sort of love these videos. It is what it is, and we move with it. So we had finished Perek Aleph, which discussed the idea of the Beiteach, the Maftiach, the Muftach. Even though we go out and work, and that is the Siba, that is the Ilah to get our Parnasa, but we believe that Hashem is the ultimate Siba and Ilah that gives us the Parnasa. We can't rely on miracles, so we have to go out and work. But it is Hashem that is giving us the Parnasa regardless of what we do. So on the bottom of Perek Aleph, there is something called Hoisofos Ubiurim. Very, very interesting, a little bit long. I might split this into two separate classes. He brings down from the Sefer Shomer Emunim that what can go wrong when we believe in this Siba and this Ilah for our Parnasa. Just to give you a little introduction on Shomer Emunim is from the mid-1700s, from Ukraine, and his name is Rabbi Nachum Tversky. He started the Hasidus of Chernobyl. He's a Talmud of the Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid from Mezrich. So I'm reading inside now. Move up the Sefer Shomer Emunim, Parashas V'Eschanan, V'zel L'Shoinai. Ubamash Mavur Loch, and what I explained to you earlier in his Sefer, Tovin Gadol Harosh Shegorim Chas V'Shalom La'atzmai Oisei Ha'odam Ha'imi L'Kabel Shefa Parnosai V'L'mayla Yidei Shum Sivo. The bad that can come to a person when he believes his parnasa comes from his siba, from his work. The hainu masamatan kayotzabai, for example, from his business. Im yesham sheker, let's say he lies in his business. Uchsar midas usharpis leinas viziyov, or let's say he's lacking midas, he does some sort of forgery. Sheyesham chas v'shalom. Sha'al yidei zeh chas v'shalom magdil hakitrig v'atzimtzum la'shefa nishba loim Baal HaRatzon. For that will cause a great kitrig to be mitzamtzim, limit his shefa from the Baal HaRatzon. Ki Baal HaRatzon mashpia tamar l'chol chai. Baal HaRatzon, Hashem, is always giving to the beings in this world. Raku mekabel atzmai goyim lo ilis akiv hashefa chas v'shalom, but a person can cause an ikuv to stop that shefa. Ubizet tov masham v'shas. In the Gemara Tainis, we can understand. It says, "Ein habrocha mitzuy ela b'dov asomay min ha'ayin." Bracha comes from something which is hidden from the eye. Ve'ena ayin shaletes by, and where the eye does not see it. Shenemar, as it says in Chumash Devarim, Yitzav Hashem idcha es bracha v'asamecha, and Hashem says that I will give for you bracha in your warehouses where all your grains are. Ve'gam amru sham be'inyan ahu b'braisa, and the Gemara within the Braisa says, Hanichnas l'bamud es karoinoi oimer, someone that goes into his warehouse, into his storehouse, to measure his grain that he has there, he should say Yiratzain shetishlach li bracha b'kri hazeh. Before he counts it, before he looks at it, he should say a tefillah bracha that Hashem should send me bracha in this bundle here, in this all the grain that's here. But if modad v'achakach berach, if he first counts what he has and then he says this Yiratzain, the Gemara over there says it's a tefillah shav. She'ena bracha mitzuya loy b'dav amodav loy b'dav amonei. Bracha does not come from something which is counted and measured. Ki be'emes, shefas haparnasa hu lefi goydel habatachan bo yisbarach. Your parnasa is based on how much bitochan you have in Hashem. V'havshotas b'tchoinai mesibois chitzonios shesham hu islavshu shefa parnasai. If you're peeling away your bitochan in these sibois chitzonios, which let's call it your work, which dress up your shefa parnasa, derech mashal imhu oisig masamata. For example, he's working in kama sakim shainim. He has many different responsibilities in his work, different jobs. V'chol pam meisim b'tchoyne ala eisig ahu hachitzayni shu rak levush leshefa elyon neirim el malav leikir, and he believes in his work that he's doing that it will bring him his parnasa. And again, that's only he calls it a levush. It's like a cover up to the real shefa that's coming from above from Hashem. But because he's lacking das, therefore he only believes in the siba and the work that he does. Azai maybe hashpol b'chinas simtzum shemitzamtzum hashefa b'hasibo b'machshavta shechoyshev shua ikar. Through his thought that he believes that his work is the ikar and that's what giving his parnasa, he is mitzamtzum. He's limiting the shefa from hitting him. So he is causing, says the Baal the bad that he is causing to his shefa is that he's creating dinim and tzimtzumim, rules and limitations to his shefa. So basically, if you're going to work with the teva of the world, so then Hashem is also going to limit your shefa with the teva of the world. But someone that does have bitochan, that it all comes from the Baal HaRatzon. Hashem is sending the parnasa, and we're only an empty vessel, so that Hashem could fill it up with the shefa. That since we are gashmi, we need to fill up through a malbush gashmi. It's just something that we need to do. But not that a person can start being smart and how I should make more money, how I can save myself in the business. Outside of the parameter of Baal HaRatzon. Again, you fit into the parameter of the Baal HaRatzon, everything is good. But if you start making cheshbonos, putting Hashem aside, your business alone, you're falling into this symptom. And if you do this, that if you are able to do this, meaning have bitochan, believe in Hashem, and undress yourself from this gashmias and bring yourself closer to the source of the Baal HaRatzon, shesham ein tzimtzum edinim. With Hashem, there is no limitations. And that he will not receive his parnasa through all of the chain of events, cause and effects of this world. Rather directly from the Baal HaRatzon, that Hashem will appear to him with kindness and mercy. There's a story with the Rebbe of Zisha that we know that he was a very poor person, and Rebbe Zisha was once sitting in the Beis Medrash, and people came over to him, and he says, "You're here in the Beis Medrash, you're learning, you're besimcha. Your family at home is bitzar. They need more food to eat. They need better clothing. They're bitzar. How can you sit in the Beis Medrash like this?" So Reb Zisha answered that I'm besimcha because I believe in Hashem. Yes, my family is bitzar because they believe in Reb Zisha. They believe in me. Let's continue. Shizehu kavanas hapasuk, and this is what the pasuk in Tehillim says. Literally, the pasuk means open up your hand and I'll give to every being what it needs. Says Moranayim Chai Daiko. We picked the word Chai. David Melech picked the word Chai specifically Shuhu Mimadregas Tzadik Hanikar Chai, to refer to a Tzadik, which is called a Chai, like the Gemara Brachas Daf Yiches tells us. Sheyesh Bitochan Hagadol Baal HaRatzon Levadai, that he believes directly in the Baal HaRatzon. Loi, to him must be a Ratzon daika. To him, the Ratzon, the Baal HaRatzon, Hashem, will give to. Hamuvshut amorik min tzumtzumim, someone that is undressed from all the limitations. Shalai bi yiridas elama yisrak miyod levad. Not through all this cause and effect till it gets to him through the worlds, rather directly from Hashem. Shezeu pesach es yodecha. Why does it say yodecha? Daika umaspia lechol chai shu b'madreges chai sheish by Bitochan hagomer. That only from yodecha, only from your hand, Hashem, I believe my Shefa is coming, and that's a chai, that's a tzaddik that believes this. Maspia l'chol chai, Hashem will give him everything he needs. Lezehu maspia rotzoin, shuniza merotzoin elyon. What does it mean, rotzoin? That means that it's coming directly from the Baal HaRatzon, from Hashem. We continue. Ba'al kein yesh brocha el yoina b'meizoinoisav. Ki ala roiv ha-tzadikim einam b'nei masa maton v'izkei parnasa al yidei sibus ka'ashmiz k'terech olam. Most tzadikim are not busy working, yet they have parnasa. They have everything they need without working. They have it because they have everything they need. More than the rich people that are working in parnasa. Because that is because they believe in Hashem, which is the Mekar HaRatzon, which has no end, no limitations. Not to believe in the Siba. We continue. Based on how much you undress your trust from your tzivos, from the work, is kavus el Baal HaRatzon, you bring yourself closer to Baal HaRatzon. Nimshach lehem kach hashefa b'espashtus min hasivos, you'll be drawn towards your shefa without the tzivos, without the work. Ki'im ein habitochan chazak kol kach, if your trust is not so strong, tzarchu al kaponim lekabel derech eizeh sibo, then you'll have to come on to your work b'eslavshus of and a thick clothing. Again, which he refers to your work, kishir betchayna, based on your bitochan in this world, in your work in this world. But let's say your trust is skinnier, is not so much. So then also your work, yeshiva, will be skinnier. You won't have to work that hard. That's what the Gemara means when it says that you have bracha when it's hidden from the eye. But your trust is in something which is hidden from the eye. Which is not seen to the eye, which is Hashem. There is no limit to Hashem. And that's what the Gemara means, only in something which the eye does not see. Which is Hashem, which is the source of Ratzon, which the eye cannot see. In him you put your trust, no one else, nothing else. And that's why also for the tzadikim, anyone else that has this level of bitochan, nobody sees where their parnasa comes from. There's no work there, there's no business. They have what they need, without limitations. That's because their trust is in Hashem, which is which is not seen to the eye. That's why their parnasa as well comes to them, and nobody sees where it comes from. It's not near la'ayin. Is from a place where the eye does not see it. And that's why bracha is found there. Wow. Amazing. He continues on. We're going to stop now the video, and we'll continue the rest in the next video. But that was amazing. telling us again the bad that comes about someone that believes in his work. He puts in a ikov. He stops the shefa. He brings in limitations to limit the shefa that he really should be getting. He explained Samim in ayin, which means that you believe in Hashem, which is you can't see Hashem. You believe in Hashem, then your panas will also come from places that people don't see where it comes from. And he also explained here, is you believe in Yodecha, in Hashem's hand, and it will give you, and that's a chai, that's a tzaddik that believes in Hashem, then Hashem will be maspia l'chol chayrotzon. Amen.